I didn't even watch this yet. Like, I just got up from laying down. One of my followers had asked me to not react to it. I doubt they was expecting a reaction out of this, but I just didn't feel like watching it and then doing a whole full review and shit like that. I'm kind of lazy right now, so bear with me. We're gonna get the full reaction. Whether I hate, love, I'm gonna pause and say what I agree with, what I dislike, what I don't agree with. Same shit. But let's check this out,
When gun guy, but his speech was super surprising. He identifies as a Boogaloo Boy, and the young man reached out to us, and I had the opportunity to hear straight from the source, which is always better. So corporate media can't be trusted, and corporate media is about creating fear and sensationalism. And I'm going to presume that this guy is genuine. The question I always think about is, how do we reach out to fellow working people like this? How do we find common interests? There are no easy answers, and these are always uncomfortable questions. And I'm not just talking about this in an academic theory kind of way, but in real world terms. We can't ignore this is happening in the country, and it's going to get worse. Working people are being brutalized. People are alienated, disillusioned. People know they've been abandoned by their government, and now they're looking for community. They're looking for tribes and looking for connection, because we live in a failed state and a failed society. This pandemic has made it explicitly clear that our government has abandoned its people.
I mean, no matter what, if you are genuinely down with a general strike, revolution, shit like that, we have we're gonna have to radicalize some of these not white supremacists or however you want to call them, Boogaloo Boys, whatever the fuck you want to name them. We're gonna have to go in these Republican towns and show them that we have more in common than what they have with the Republican governor, the Republican senator, or organizer for the community and shit like that. It's gonna really take for us to go down. So I don't disagree with that. It is gonna take the working class. That's whether you're prejudiced against whites or rich against or racist against blacks. But we don't necessarily have to work together, as long as our communities are organized within each other. And you know, America just means what they say. You know what I'm saying? American people mean what they say. No means no. Give us this, or we don't move. You know, we don't necessarily have to march with Boogaloo Boys. We don't have to necessarily march or protest and strike next to them. You know, but we can all fight for the same goals in our separate communities, because once this is done, we are going to be separated again. Like, nobody's looking to make friends or anything here. We are trying to save America. So,
And how do we talk to them? Is the left going to turn into Hillary Clinton and call them deplorables and discard them? Instead of demonizing people because they don't hold the exact same set in stone ideology that we have, and if you actually traveled around America as I have,
yeah,
you will find people's ideologies are wildly inconsistent
yeah,
and always in flux and constantly changing.
facts.
If there are people who are pro LGBTQ,
This is my first time officially watching Jimmy Dore. Like, I think I saw a clip of Jimmy back in like 2012 or something like that. But this is like my first time actually checking him out. But he's right. The more that we move outside of our communities, the more our views change on things. Like, man, it was so many things that I didn't believe in that I thought was stupid. But once I moved outside of my community, you know, and I was learning from other people who going through different things, I was like, oh yeah, I'm the dumbass. I'm the idiot here. And I was just stuck in a bubble. You know, and that's the problem with a lot of our ideologies. You know, they come from where we come from. They don't come from a place of our heart. They don't come from our own mind. You are who you around. So all these people coming up, they might not even have the same thoughts as their uncles, as their brothers and sisters, whatever the people that are around, the races or whatever the hell their problem are, it is. They might not even think like that, but they have to move like that in that, community. But if people like us can reach out to, those one and two and pick them outside of the community, we can shake things up. But yeah, he is right about that. If you travel, outside of your bubble, you're gonna see all types of people that believes in, you know, lizard people run the government, but they also want, universal health care or shit like that. It's gonna be some wild shit, but sometimes people is not gonna align with us every fucking time. Like that's impossible because I'm farther left than a lot of you, and some of you farther left than me. And I'm pretty sure we can come to some grounds like, hey, you know, we're not gonna do it like this. I don't want to do it like this. You don't want to do it like this. But if we can all put, our eggs in the same basket, nigga, we can eat.
Against war, against the corporate dominance of the state, people who reject the two-party duopoly and who work alongside Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and they want a general strike. Well, we have to be able to talk to those people, because if we can't talk to those people, that's bad. That shows the weakness on our side. Yes, I would rather have the dudes with guns protecting Black Lives Matter protests instead of them threatening Black Lives Matter protests. Social movements should always be in dialogue. I presume this interview that I did with this young man is going to be used to attack me. And this interview is not an endorsement of any group, because I don't know how representative this person is of an entire group. I'm dropping the entire interview, and I think you'll find the conversation is full of surprises. All right, so we have our first guest on. I'm going to get in big trouble for talking to this gentleman.
First of all, I won't give a fuck who you bring on your show. Like, I personally talk to all types of people. I talked to Nazis before, full-blown Nazis, and I will be having racist people on my show. I will have, all types of people from all different types of background on my show. And it's not because I want to work with them or anything like that. It's more to show them that we have more in common than anything. See, it's one thing, like when people come in my life and they see that I used to have my communist flag behind me. And that was the first thing that they said. Oh, you're a communist? I said, no, I'm a human. I'm a human, motherfucker. Why would you see, you see titles before you see that I'm a human being that bleeds and thinks and need like you. I'm only a communist because I was able to step outside of my community and learn things. If it wasn't for me stepping outside of my community, I would probably be a liberal, a black liberal, voting for the Democratic Party, something like that. Not a leader, not leading any change, nothing, just following the sheep.
Saw our guest speak in a video of him.
Oh shit, that's right. Comments.
Michigan State Capitol. He made critiques of the war, of the wars, not just the wars. He made critiques of the wars and the corporate-controlled state. He called for unity.
They fear us coming together. Yes,
American people and of social movements. Well, let's play a little bit of it, shall we?
Antifa, Boogaloo, and breaking militias, they are the antibodies, not the disease that is destroying our country. The disease is a country run by two corrupt political parties that do not care about you. So deeply incestuous with corporations that they are indistinguishable from each other. A government that spent 6 months debating whether to give their own people $600, but only 24 hours to unanimously agree to give billions of dollars to foreign tyrannical governments and corporations.
It sounds like you're reading one of y'all tweets. I love you too. I love you too. The Daily Dope Show. Love you, man.
My entire life for my supposed safety here. This is a call for unity. For all of American people that realize the true threat against us to come together. For every mother mourning her children that was killed by police. For every business crushed
So,
I'm gonna pause it one more time because I believe he is from Michigan. Yep, he's from Michigan. Yep. Damn, I need to start reading titles. He's from Michigan. Probably not far from me. Probably not that far from me. And we have a lot of protesting that be going on up here. We have a lot of, union strikes and, all type of things be going up here. And this is good. This is okay, and it's a start. But I'm gonna have to, you know, say y'all niggas gonna have to put up because we have Black Lives Matter out here multiple times in Detroit alone, and these aren't just thoughts that you just woke up with and say, okay. No, this man has been contemplating on this. He probably actually felt like this his whole life, but the community around him, made him into a Boogaloo Boy or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, and he know what's going on. He see that the two-party system don't work for you, and people is being killed by the police and shit like that. But if you are on the streets next time they are out there protesting police officers, police brutality, or just this corrupt system, black as far as Black Lives Matter or anybody that's protesting, if I don't see them, then I call bullshit. I call bullshit to save what's left of the right, knowing that they are getting shut down from every fucking media, every fucking website is shutting down the right. They have no voice. And if I don't see them out in the streets after this shit, then it's all bullshit. It's all some bullshit just to save themselves and they think they can make a home on the left and have a place to I guess spread their hate for the government. Bro, we get censored too. They take down the left live streams all the time. So if you think you're gonna come over here to have a protective voice, you're out of your fucking mind. This is like my 5th Twitter page. So any of you Boogaloo boys, anybody you from the right, thinking that you can just I'm not gonna say that. If you don't fucking put up or shut up, then I ain't trying to hear none of this shit. Because I didn't heard it from people that look just like me. And I didn't heard it from people that look just like you. But what I haven't seen is any of you motherfuckers putting up. So if you think you can come over here to have a protective voice, you out of your fucking mind. They're gonna censor you. They're gonna send the police after you just like they send the police after Black Lives Matter. There's none of that shit. There's no Fred Hampton. There's no color wall. There's no, the rainbow wall. None of that. These are different times, and it calls for different measures. And we got to do things differently. The government don't give a fuck whether you live or die. And that's just fucking straight facts. They will kill you over the money. They will kill you over capital. How much is your life worth? So if these motherfuckers coming over here, go ahead. I see the pride flag. I'm too much into politics to sit here and let you trick me with symbols. You're out there on your own. You could have chose many of the cities that's protesting right now. And you could have demonstrated and said, we are blah, blah, blah with the Boogaloo Boys, and we are here to protect the Black Lives Matter protesters. They all have weapons, bulletproof vests, ski mask on. I thought one of them had a paintball mask on. They're gonna protect it, but who are you protecting? So put up or shut up, bro. But I'm gonna let this go on because this is an interview a little long, but I don't know if I'm gonna sit.
I played that with Ron Placone on our show the other day, and we couldn't find anything in that speech we disagreed with, and I wanted to explore his beliefs further. So he was kind enough to reach out to us, and he goes by the name, ready, Magnus Panvita. And there's a story behind that name. Please welcome to the show, Magnus Panvita. Hi, Howard. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy. Nice to meet you. Kind of crazy that I'm here. I would have never expected.
Is that Vosh?
I would never expect
No,
to be talking to a right-wing guy in a Hawaiian shirt. I never thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit more of an anarchist, but
Oh, okay, all right. We'll get it. So let's get into it. First of all, tell
Don't
people how
thread
you
on
got
me.
your name. Now, I found out
with the
that
pride flag.
your parents were hippies.
yeah, I was raised in the middle of nowhere next to a little pagan hippie.
Look how crazy the mismatch is, bruh. Just look at this. Like, these are the voters that I flipped easily. They are in the middle. They don't even know what he believe in. Just from the couple of seconds of me looking at him, he don't know what he believe in. He don't know if all the shit that his parents and his fucking and his siblings has been telling him is truth. And when these kids get on the internet, it's hard to let go of these fucking things that your parents have taught you because it become like a religion now. So now you try to come in the middle ground with every fucking thing. You're an anarchist, but you're a Boogaloo. Okay. These are the people that need to leave their community. These are the people that will fucking be radicalized the second they step in front of a nigga like me. But it is Michigan. Michigan crazy as fuck.
I used to be an environmental activist my whole life, so yeah, kind of not what you would expect for most people.
Wow. Okay. So, and how did you get the name?
We had to come up with kind of our own names on the commune. We didn't want to go by our own names, so everybody had.
All right, nigga, I'm gonna fuck
That's
about you.
just because kind of the whole thing the media doesn't talk about with the Boogaloo Boys is we're more of like the libertarian Green Party militia. Like if I wanted to join a regular militia that flies Confederate flags and it's a bunch of fat old white dudes, that's there. But we kind of formed out of a bunch of libertarians and anti-war activists and everything, wanting a place of our own, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the colorful Hawaiian print and a lot of our members being LGBT and across the entire every ethnicity, every spectrum, and we wanted more of a home for ourselves, so we kind of grew out of not wanting to be the traditional right-wing conservative white dude militia.
So you're not about hating gays, and you don't hate the gays?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I was told that.
Matter of fact, I'm not the most straight man myself, so.
Oh, well, you better. Okay, watch out. So Jude Law, is that your guy? That's my guy. I don't know who you go.
Orlando Bloom, actually.
So
they let me watch too much Lord of the Rings as a kid.
I don't get the joke.
So now I already got in trouble for even playing your video on my. When I say in trouble, I mean the usual bad faith attackers came at me. The people who want to keep us divided, the people who take corporate money, that kind of stuff. Now tell me about because since I played your video, other blue check reporter types have been sending me news articles about how the Boogaloo Boys are violent, racists, and terrorists, and they even killed a cop, and a couple of them got arrested on the way to a rally, a Black Lives Matter rally, and they had explosives. Now that's not made up, right? I saw it on 60 Minutes.
No, that's not made up, and obviously we're an entire national movement. Hundreds of thousands of people. You're gonna have idiots. You're gonna have accelerationists and extremists and people that do think.
And he's correct about that. Because I consider myself somewhat of an extremist. If it wasn't me, if it wasn't for my kids, I probably would have did some dumb shit to one of these politicians, to be honest. And like you can go back on some of my old streams. I always tell you we're gonna need extremists because when shit get real, we're gonna need people that's that's willing to die for us, that's willing to die for the cause. Because if these motherfuckers just want to stay in home revolution and to stay at home general strike and shit like that, who the fuck is willing to get their hands dirty? So, oh yeah, I can see Boogaloo Boys being fucking 75% peaceful, 25%, you know what I'm saying, violent. But look at the people on the left. You don't think that some of us are ready to about to snap? Our accelerationists, our extremists, these people are losing everything that they have, so yeah, it's gonna be, fucking Democrats gotta come on, man. The Democratic Party got fucking extremists. Religions. There's nothing that you can like everything. Basketball, football, everybody. These motherfuckers will riot when their team win. Extremists. So yeah, they're everywhere. Can't stop them.
That we don't want
Might
them
as
to do.
well
And it's become even
try to
harder
fucking
now
control their ass
where
as much as we
we
can.
have all social media that we can't even keep track of the idiots in our movement and deal with them. So that's been fun. So you're saying that by suppressing the speech of the most extreme members and the most violent members, it's now hard to tell who they are. Yeah, and a lot of people on Twitter and everything will be like, oh, you guys might not be neo-Nazis, but there are neo-Nazi Boogaloo people, and I'm like, well, I don't know where they are. I can't find them or talk to them. They're on a million different websites, so I can't deal with them. We can't go out and purge these people from our movement because we've been blown all over the internet. When we were all on Facebook, we had this under control. We never had this problem, but once we got banned off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I even got banned off of Google and PayPal. Yeah, I know. I know.
I just said that. If these motherfuckers come over here thinking that they about to have some type of protected speech or trying to use us for some type of media platform, like that's not happening, bro. You're not gonna get your rocks off hating on the government just because you embrace the left. So put up or shut up. I can name 3 protests that y'all could have went to and protect some people of color from.
And so you're saying the censoring of people more extreme than you, and actually people who are violent, the censoring of their speech is now actually creating a bigger problem because it's harder to identify those people and weed them out. Absolutely. Like when we were all on Facebook and we would be in group messenger and everything, and a guy was like, oh, I had a really bad day. I think I'm just going to, do something stupid. I'm going to fly off the handle. We can't wait any longer. We could all talk him down and be like, no, that's stupid. Don't go out and do that. That's not what we're about. And we could all work that out. Now that guy is on some parlor chat very deeply around a bunch of really iffy people egging him on. There's no one there to tell him, hey, that's not what this movement's about. We're not here to just go out and shoot cops and commit terrorist attacks. It's never been what it's about. So I've been told that the Boogaloo Boys want a racial civil war. No, not at all. The whole calling it a Boogaloo, the whole meme behind it was just that it's a bad sequel to original because it came from the Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. I knew that's where they got their motherfucking names from. Y'all don't know what Electric Boogaloo is. It's an old black movie. It's an old black movie about breakdancers. It's actually a good movie, to me, because it was a lot of people not gonna like it from this time, but I used to love it. But I knew that's where they got their motherfucking name from.
Bad sequel to a bad movie. And in our context, it just means some form of civil conflict, whether that be a peaceful singing revolution, whether that be some awful government civil war, whether that be a second revolutionary civil war, or to the idiot neo-Nazi types, they would consider it a race war. And that's a meme that's been around forever. So when it comes to us, we view this as a upcoming, hopefully peaceful second American Revolution where all of these groups, like I talked about, come together and we tell these giant corporations and these 2 political parties that we're done with them. We don't want them anymore. It's time to go. And so you do understand, though, when people see you dressed in military gear with your beard and you're carrying an AR-15 or whatever that is, that immediately it scares the shit out of people, and that they think that
shit don't scare
all
me.
bad things about you, that you are racist, that you want violence, and because the president just stoked the violence on January 6th and stuff like that. So you do understand that, though, right?
Yeah, I get it. I have disagreements with it, but especially after this whole summer and everything, I've traveled around to a lot of events, and I can tell you now, everyone has guns. BLM protesters have guns. The Proud Boys have guns. We have guns. The cops have guns. Everybody's walking around really armed. I had a gun pulled on me in Detroit over this summer by bikers when I was doing security for a BLM event, which was funny. So
you did security for a BLM event? How did that come about?
Because we before the mainstream media even wrote a single article about us, we had blown up everywhere because all across the country we were showing up to George Floyd events, because the unreported story behind all of this is we have a lot in common with the Breonna Taylor story. Because within 48 hours of what happened to Breonna Taylor, separately in Maryland, a man named Duncan Lem was killed in a no-knock raid. The police shot him through his window and shot his pregnant girlfriend. They then lied about why they got the warrant. They lied and said they shot him from inside the building when it came out only 2 weeks ago, almost a year later, they killed him from outside the building. So then we started going out as libertarians, going out to BLM events with, Breonna Taylor signs, Duncan Lem signs, being like, hey, this is across the political spectrum. This police state thing that's going on, they're killing everyone.
He's not lying about this, because I searched the web. I do a little bit of lazy ass research, and I do see the right wing. A lot of the right is giving up police. A lot of them, they are passing up that thing blind bullshit. A lot of them don't feel like they are protecting the civilian and all that shit. They saying. I seen on Reddit a bunch of right wing motherfuckers talking about. One thing I would agree with the left is on police. The police have to go, and we can police our own communities and shit like that. We already outgunned them and shit like come on, man. Like, if a motherfucker really wanted to, if 5 motherfuckers really wanted to, they can take down the whole police department. Like, but yeah, let me watch.
Everybody. And we're out here and we're in support. We disagree with this. So all summer long, we did both marched in solidarity and in some cases did security for BLM events where you had these other groups coming to fight people. And we were welcomed with open arms across all of these. Like, I can send you a million Facebook posts and live stream of people being like, we're so happy you're here. We love you. And then the media establishment caught wind that there was armed white libertarian dudes marching in support with a bunch of socialists and BLM and everything. And they said, unacceptable. And they dropped the hammer. And that's when all of the Department of Homeland Security and anti-extremist researchers came out of the woodwork and like, oh, these are white supremacists. These are evil people. They're only there to kill people and everything. And the ride began.
So you were actually welcomed by Black Lives Matter. You actually provided security for Black Lives Matter. You actually marched in solidarity against police violence because you realize it's not a left-right issue. It's a us against them issue. Right? It's the cops against us. It's the establishment against us, and the laws all favor them, and it protects them. And you're right. I think I agree with that. How could you disagree with that? How about? And so tell us some more. Would the majority of the Boogaloo Boys agree with your sentiments that you said in that video and what you're saying right now? Would the majority of the Boogaloo Boys agree with you?
Absolutely. Like, it pretty much our core foundation is, if you're not a bigoted piece of shit and you understand that both parties are the problem and you're willing to do something about it and you're willing to get out in the streets and you're willing to make your voice heard, you're welcome. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you do. In that video, it doesn't show it, but I walked in, the woman standing next to me is a local BLM organizer for Lansing, Michigan, and I walked in with the local anti-fascist organization as well. So it wasn't just us standing up there. It was the local BLM, it was the local anti-fascist organization, and it was the Boogaloo. And we kind of represent this idea we've been pushing of the Unity Coalition. We're growing pretty big in both Kentucky, Ohio, and Michigan, to where we've been marching together constantly.
There's a Boogaloo group in Kentucky, in Louisville, called the United Pharaohs Guard that's been out with BLM protesters every day since the very beginning, and they're welcome with open arms. So, do you know the history of people who do this kind of thing? You know what it is, right? The people who try to combine the populist left, the populist right, to fight the establishment. You know the history of people who do this, right? Yeah, we get mysteriously disappeared.
That's the job.
And killed out in the open. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they did to Fred Hampton when he did this. But you're going to do it anyway. So you reach out to the Black Lives Matter. You reach out to Antifa. The Boogaloo Boys reach out to Antifa. The Black Lives Matter. You march.
They kill you in public. They kill your leaders in public to discourage you from ever speaking up on anything, you know. But
you're anti-war. You're for peace. You're
don't be
against
scared
racism,
to die, man. That's one thing you're going to do.
Brutality. What else? What would be some other big things? Pro-sex work, decriminalization, legalize all drugs, end all the wars, close the ICE detainment camps.
That nigga saying end all the drugs. I don't even hear a lot of you lefties even say that shit. But this could all be talk. So
why
I need to see, you know, I need to study into him and, you know, try to find at least some videos. Try to see if me and Kerry can get some pictures of him, some Black Lives Matter protesters protesting. Try to see what I can get on this dude, cause yeah, you know, it sounds good. It sounds good, man. It sounds good. It do sound good, but do your job. You know, like what you doing is good. Do your job in your white community. You know, as a Boogaloo, as a whatever the fuck. If you feel like how he feel, do your job inside of your community and make sure your people is down to protest, is down to stand out there and you know, be ready for this general strike. You know, we don't have to mix together. And during times like this, you don't want people from different communities coming together. You know, stay in your own community. We can protest where we are, you know, and that will get the job done. Because no matter no matter how you feel, no matter what you think about the white man, the black man, the red man, the yellow man, when it comes down to it, we all need the basics in this motherfucker. We all need healthcare. We all need, you know, free education, or better education. You know, these are the things that we are gonna be striking for. So if you can do what he's doing, teach white people how to fucking, you know, fight against the American government. Do it inside of your own fucking community, and black people will be ready. I'm pretty sure you see a lot of black cities are been ready, been protesting, been rioting and shit like that. Once y'all catch up, then we can talk. Got you? Got me? Got you?
Camps. Yeah, I think when it comes to, like, you know, the border things, I'm more of an open borders guy. But even looking at it from a conservative viewpoint, if you got to deport people, then deport people. Why are you holding people in camps? Why are you holding people in these horrible, uncomfortable positions? If you don't want them in the country, then deport them.
That's human trafficking, man.
It's inhumane.
It's a lot of money.
If, you know, this was going on at any other time period under any other presidency, people would be burning the country down over it. You know, never again is what we said. But we're putting people in camps again. So people, well, I want to say who are your political opposites, but they're not, because the whole point of your thing is that we have a lot of agreement. And so what I've said on this show is that, you know, the problems we're facing right now aren't left-right issues. They're oppressive issues that affect all of us. And so we have to fight those first so we can get back to fighting a left-right issue. That's what I look for. That's almost a luxury, being able to fight Democrats, Republicans. Yeah. Right now, we know there's one party of war, one party of Wall Street, one party of a big pharma and health insurance companies and fossil fuel companies. They own all, and Silicon Valley, by the way, which is why we're all being censored. So that, to me, that's the bigger problem right now that affects left, right, center, middle. It's a class war that we're in right now, right? You feel that?
Yeah, because I honestly don't give a fuck about these niggas. Like, I don't fear them, and I will, kill them to protect my people. So as far as what they believe and as far as what they do, as long as they don't cross me with that bullshit personally, if we don't cross paths and I don't have to fucking put hands on you and shit like that, then I don't give a fuck what you believe in. Honestly, I really don't. Because the world is too big for me to want everybody to think like me.
It's a class war. Absolutely, and that's where we butt into it with conservative groups a lot, because we're very anti-police, and they're like, why do you not support the police and everything? And it's like, well, as a gun owner, who's going to come and take that gun? The cops. And someone who likes marijuana, who's going to come and arrest me for that? The cops. So we run into that trying to explain to people that, like, no, it is the top versus the bottom. It's not the left versus the right. We can argue about healthcare when we're not dropping bombs on foreign countries. We can argue about, how much we put into public education when people aren't having their doors kicked in and killed in their homes. Right. It turns out to be the wrong address. There's more important things going on. So yeah, so we would agree on the war. We would agree on the corporate control of our government. We would agree on police brutality. We're not going to agree on the Second Amendment, and we probably won't. What about healthcare? Because what do you?
I agree with this second. I think I think people should have more guns. I think you should be able to own a fucking tank. Along as our government got over 100 and some military bases all over the fucking world, or whatever the fuck the number was, I think you should be able to own whatever fucking weapon you need. Straight the fuck up. All right? Don't. Weaponry is just a part of this land. It's just a part of life here. And until we actually get somebody who's gonna have the balls, like, come on, man. First of all, the reason why they haven't de-gunned our ass is because we got more guns than their ass. Honestly, they're gonna have to really try to break it down and do it, city by city, quietly, a little community here, a community there. But they're not gonna do a whole roundup. People will go crazy, and we're gonna lose a lot of soldiers for some bullshit. We're gonna lose a lot of Americans, taxpayers, as they call us. You ain't a human, you're a taxpayer.
The Second Amendment, I was always against guns, and then I was like, well, the only people who don't have guns in the country are the citizens. The cops have them. And then I went. If you want to go into that really quick, I actually had. I'm assuming they were neo-Nazis, but I'm not sure. Show up to my house in the middle of the night after a protest and scream things I couldn't say on YouTube at my window at 3 a.m. And I called the police, and they told me they couldn't do anything about it, and that they weren't even going to show up to do a wellness check. So that's why I have that. Oh, okay. I hear you. All right, yeah, I hear you.
That must be a weed plant or something.
I'm back to being against guns again. I know. I'm back to being.
See, Jimmy, that's probably why I never watch this show.
Against them again, because the cops are always going to have more guns. They're always going to have more guns, right?
No.
But because the argument was always, well, we need to have our guns to protect ourselves from the tyranny of the government, right, and to protect our rights. Except the government already took your rights away. They took away we live in a surveillance state. You have the Fourth Amendment's gone, and now they're taking away our freedom.
Well, don't take away the fucking guns. Take away the fucking laws that watches us through our fucking monitors. What are you talking about, Jimmy? What you talking about, Jimmy? Come on, man. Get on, bro. Don't touch nobody guns. Kill the Patriot Act. That's what the fuck you do. Kill the taxes, these high-ass taxes on weapons. kill these laws that make it hard for black people to get fucking guns in their own neighborhoods, even though there's a weapon store on every fucking corner. Don't disarm the people. Then what? Then what happened when they take our guns, Jimmy? Who we can't even protect ourselves from ourselves then, let alone the government. So they take our guns, they still have fucking surveillance over you, bro. Anyways, Jimmy, see, this is probably why, whatever. I fuck with Jimmy sometimes on some of these points, but as far as guns, I'm gonna skip that because no. And I've been taught from Black Panthers, straight people that went to Washington. No, don't touch nobody fucking weapons. You check the government. Anyways.
When we're not dropping bombs on foreign countries, they told me they couldn't do anything about it, and that they weren't. And you like it for your own personal. Just stop participating in the government and prepare yourself because it'll come to you. If you're doing a red strike, if you're doing a tax strike, you don't have to go on the offensive, but they will come for you afterwards. Yes, and that's when you defend yourself if you feel that way. So people say, why show up to the Capitol with a gun? Who are you looking to shoot someone in the Capitol? Well, it's particularly at those very steps. We've showed up to BLM events and everything, and we've watched some of those ladies that were with BLM get jumped and get beat up and have their property torn up, and the cops just stood there, just watched it happen. So then the BLM people started showing up with guns. They have rifles, they have, they're concealed carrying, and we showed up as well, and that stopped happening. So it's more so towards the line of the police will not protect you anymore. At any of these events, they won't do anything for it. Just a couple weeks ago in Louisville, there ended up almost being a gunfight in the street because a car blew through 2 lanes of traffic and drove straight through a Black Lives Matter protest and almost ran 3 people over and started shooting. And the police didn't do anything about it. They didn't block the road. They didn't pursue that vehicle. They didn't help anyone. They just stood there and watched. So that's kind of, where we're getting to in this country and why you see a lot of left-wing people not only purchasing firearms, but showing up to events with firearms. It's because the cops aren't going to do nothing. They don't care about you. They're there to protect property and the government. They don't care about the people. I mean, Bernie Sanders works with people like Mike Lee, who's a pretty extreme right-winger in the Senate. I don't know if he's ever worked with Ted Cruz on anything.
I don't think so.
But you don't see. I think they co-founded, authored. What bill was it? I don't remember. They did work together once, though. Oh yeah, Bernie and Ted Cruz did work together. Look at that. Yeah. You don't seem extreme.
I think Bernie and John McCain worked together or some shit like that.
You seem way more rational and reasonable. And I saw the 60 Minutes piece they did on you, and or not on you, but on the Boogaloo Boys. And I was in that documentary for Lansing. Oh yeah, you were in that. Okay. No matter how many times. Well, let me go. So we seem to agree on some of the big problems in our country. You and I. Would you
of course.
The corporate capture of our government's a big problem? Oh yeah, we essentially live under a fascist state. If you define fascism as corporations and government working together, then we live under that 100%. You see the secret bailouts, you see the public bailouts, you see how these big corporations can do almost anything. They never go under. You don't hear about these mega corporations making one big mistake and falling apart like they're supposed to do under capitalism. They last forever. And definitely they're so in alignment, they work so hand in hand that I don't even consider them private companies. You see a lot of conservatives and libertarians being like, oh, Facebook's a private company. They can do whatever they want. They receive millions of dollars from the government. Yeah. They get exclusive contracts from the government. Yeah. They work with government, work with politicians daily. They're an arm of the government. We have the Department of Facebook, essentially. It's not even a company anymore. Right. Wow, that's well said. That's a good way to put it. I think it's a good way to put it. So So we agree on a lot of. So what do you think are some of the solutions? Right? How do we fix the war problem? How do we fix the social media problem? What do you have any solutions?
I definitely think if we're talking in the realms of the cleanest and most least violent way to do it, I think mass non-participation, mass strikes, mass protests.
You sound like every libertarian, dog, just lazy, bro. But you know what? I'm gonna end that where that's at and close that. That nigga don't sound too different than any of y'all motherfuckers, to be honest to me. Motherfuckers just need to lead our communities more. They need to learn outside of the communities. That's all. That's what's wrong with him. This nigga all mixed and matched. He's everywhere. He probably which one of y'all said something mean to him on Twitter and made him go to the Boogaloos? No, but honestly, man, seriously, we are all humans, and these are dire times right now, and we all need for the same thing. So it's gonna make sense for anybody to sound like you one day. They say broken clock is right twice a day, but at the same time, nigga, we ain't no motherfucking clocks. We are human beings, and we need and want, and our government isn't doing it for us. We stay in these same communities. Our children go to, the same schools, and no matter if you are a communist or a liberal or conservative, you all are going to face, the aftermath of all these bills that your government passes. So, we don't, like I said, they can, go ahead, do your thing, nigga. Do your thing. Teach white people that, blase blah, lickety split. I see that it's a generation gap between the new conservatives and the old conservatives, I guess. But that nigga, that's it's no, whatever. Libertarians or whatever the fuck. Do what y'all do. Do what y'all do, man. But once I hear about any of y'all motherfuckers, slipping up and trying to do anything, like, bro, come on, man. We know how people is. We know how people is. I don't trust you, but you are a human, so I know you need the same things I need, and we can't fight for the same things at the end of the day. But we ain't got to do it in front of each other. We ain't got to do it on the side of each other. And as long as we get this shit done, that's all that matters to me. I really don't. I honestly don't care, like, because I went to a lot of these motherfuckers, a lot of these communities with all these racist people and shit like that, man. These motherfuckers just, oh shit, maybe I should read the comments. My bad, y'all. I was not reading the comment. Okay, this is what's the political shifting is not flexible. People have lefty ideas and think they are right wing and vice versa. If you take left out of it, you can merge people in policy. And that's all I do, honestly. Because, like I said, before people even, see my communist flag, or if I'm just going live or just talking on Twitter, some Republican might chime in and agree with me. So until you look at my page, but no, he might look at my page and see Obama with the Hitler mustache and think I'm a black Republican and probably just hurry up and respond. But no. $15 in 6 years is based on the next president. Man, so they can still vote nobody, vote nobody who. Hey, that's a good theory, my nigga. That's actually fucking head on. Okay, all right. Then you say they were bringing explosives to a Black Lives Matter protest, not to a politician. I ain't hear that. I'm not marching with no Nazis. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, he ain't gotta. You ain't gotta march. I'm not marching with no fucking Nazis. I don't even march with Black Lives Matter. I only march with Black Lives Matter a handful of times, but I don't like that organization. Wasn't like it wasn't for Black people. I keep telling people that it was for white people to teach other white people that racism is wrong. And I feel like as a Black man, I shouldn't have to teach white people a damn thing in the 21st century. I shouldn't have to teach white people racism is wrong in the 21st century. Either you know it's wrong or you're just fucking evil. Shabby says was good. Yes, you have to step outside of your community. Yeah. Federal employees already get 14. Look a black atheist in his natural habitat. Freya Hampton taught us to start a class war, not a race war, and the elite would tremble. Of course. But, the thing is, people are so uncomfortable with people outside of the community. This is why I say, if we all can do what we all can in our own communities, then do it. We don't have to travel and be with each other. White people can protest, Black people can protest, brown people can protest, all the fucking yellows and reds. But we don't fucking have to really come together. We can just shut this bitch down. You know, we don't have to hold hands. We don't have to sing "Kumbaya, my Lord." We should overcome, and have, you know, the Mexicans dance around sombrero while the fucking Indians call shit with the fucking. No, we don't have to. No, we don't need no peace treaty. All we need is for taxpayers to shut this bitch down. Honestly, we don't need to vote anybody in office to get anything you want in law. When you look at these laws that matters to humans, they say it's going to take 5 years for this to take effect and this and that. But you look at the Patriot Act, and they passed that overnight. They passed, NAFTA overnight. They passed so many bills overnight when it benefit them. But this time, as long as people got the same, like, look, we need the basics, bitch. As long as we got that in mind, we can all go far. Shit, man, $15 over 20 years ago, based on labor productivity. Yep. Nobody can give you all those things. You need to earn it in the country, can support so many welfare cases for. Nigga, how do you think welfare, the people, more likely the people that's on welfare pay taxes, bro? Your taxes is going to support your welfare. The people pay for the welfare, not the government. Tom Sowell. I never heard of him. I'll check him out, I guess. What's going on, Cloud Minded? Wendy, what's going on? Rad Studio Place. Man, it's just something, man. I'm just trying to. That man Jimmy was interviewing seemed pretty reasonable in my opinion. Yeah, I'm like, but that's because he's a fucking human. That's because he's a human and he looked like my age, if not younger than me. So we're in the same generation. I'm pretty sure we feeling the same fire under our asses that this government has lit. So just about anybody that sound reasonable once they once they down on their knuckles, you like, oh shit, yeah, that sound right. Yeah, it do sound right. Because nigga, we are humans. How the fuck do like, come on, man. Because we all got our prejudices in our, and some of us are racist and some of us are classist and shit like that. But you still need to survive. You still need to survive. If you go down, you still need people to come to bring you back up. So you're still gonna need the people to bring you back up. Can I define racism? Oh man, that's a whole different fucking topic, man. You got a new Twitter account? Yep. You can look me up on Twitter. Damn, I don't like plugging myself. Fuck. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I got the same thing. Just look up Black Atheists. There are poor blacks, brown, whites, yellows, and reds. Yeah. How do you be a good ally then? Shut the fuck up and fight the power. That's it. That's all motherfuckers got to do. Shut the fuck up. Fight the power. That's it. Patriot Act 2 about to be signed overnight. Facts. But they can't pass 15 an hour. They can't pass Medicare for all during a pandemic. But they can spy on your ass and tell you to shut the fuck up when you don't question me, bitch. That's what that bill about to do. ABC said, fuck these morons. Hey, is capitalism bad? Capitalism is bad because they always have somebody. You're always gonna have a foot on someone's neck. Start texting Amazon company as you text the poorest motherfuckers in the hood or the trailer park. Man, ABC. There is no reason for bro. Come on, man. You see how we all fighting against the wrong things? Like, come on, man. Like, if you like these motherfuckers don't pay taxes, bro. It blows my mind because when I look at my check stubs and I see how much money get taken out, and I'm like, and I just think about all the rich niggas who don't pay taxes. I'm just like, oh my god, man. And they just let them get away with it. You know why they let them get away with it? Because they damn near in the same tax bracket as these fucking people. They cut taxes for themselves. They saving their own asses. They don't give a fuck about the generation that's gonna pay for that shit. Because they're gonna be dead by the time people have to pay for that shit. Most of these politicians, they don't have to fucking feel the aftermath of these laws. And even if they do, they so rich that they can just get the fuck on, or they can live here and still not even feel it. Some of these people live in fucking castles, while their district is full of homeless people. But I'm supposed to be doing something, so I'm about to wrap that up. That nigga sounds just like any other motherfucker, any other regular human being that needs something. Nothing special. Y'all ain't missed out on nothing. It wasn't nothing special. Nothing special at all. Put up or shut up. You saying you protecting black people? Do what you do. Continue to do that. Okay. Other than that, I really have no real disagreements with what he want. As far as the policies and shit like that. But his, as far as what he called himself and all, he's so mixed up in his ideologies and shit like that. I never got people like that. Either you're gonna be here or there, but whatever. Living in a European tax havens, which when all laid off folks get 80% of their regular salary. Damn. Whoa, no company gets by here without paying their fucking taxes. Oh yeah. Damn. If they don't pay 25% jail. Oh. That's what happens, man. That's what happens when there's profit over people. They billionaires, then they just hungry for more. They just want more. They just want to eat, eat, eat. They're gonna eat everything around. They're gonna eat everything around us until we eat their ass. Like it ain't gonna be nothing else for us to fucking eat shit. Might as well eat the fucking rich. But y'all take care, man. I gotta do something real important. Hopefully somebody is ready. So